But like in theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Show's a bit late today, but we're going to be talking about Trump tariffs and crypto rebound. So it's been quite nice. Yesterday, of course, a bit of a bloodbath, and then today a nice rebound for crypto. Man, how the times turn. Now, obviously, Trump is reordering the world system, including in the first instance for the United States, and secondly for the rest of us, which is exciting to see. We got some common sense going in there. It may seem a bit crazy at first, but it's necessary to get changed behavior. So very, very excited about that. We've got Crypto View in the house there. Hey, good to see you. Crypto bounces back quick. It was quick. Was very quick as well. So good to see a Property View in the chat. Really cool. Now get into the comments, folks. It is going to be a fun show. We're going to be talking about all that. I love that video of Richard Hart and the Magic Carpet Ride. We're all looking forward to that at some stage in the bull market. And maybe not too far away as well. So very excited about that. Now we're going to get into some of the market results. So let's quickly, go through them because we had the futures last night looking pretty negative, around about 2%. But we are expecting February to be a bullish green month, one of the two best months. And I don't think that's changing at all. More Wealth says beautiful V-shaped recovery. Absolutely. Great observation there, More Wealth, for sure. All right, we got US stock futures jump as Trump delays Canada-Mexico tariffs. So if you guys weren't in the mix, overnight we did have obviously a general tariffs being applied to Mexico and tariff on pretty much everything, with probably a few exceptions. That was the threat. And then, of course, we then saw Mexico and Canada then go reciprocal, so everyone got scared of a trade war. We also saw tariff going on to China as well coming up, but then overnight, of course, we get capitulation and negotiations going on, which is exactly the whole point why Trump was doing it. And so they're going to deal with not only trade. That's been delayed for now 30 days. So Trump's now delayed the tariffs for 30 days. That gives them the time to negotiate basically trade and get more balanced trade as far as Trump's concerned. But obviously, he's really keen on fentanyl drugs coming through Canada and Mexico borders, in particular, sourced from China as well. So it's extremely dangerous, the fentanyl, killing somewhere between 100 and 300,000 people, I think, a year. So it's a major, major problem in the United States. Let alone all the corruption and everything else, and of course all the illegal migrants coming over the borders, both from the south, which I think's majority at 99%, and about 1% through Canada, if I remember rightly. So those are some of the things that the Trump is addressing: trade deficits and particularly the drugs and the border security. So very, very cool to see that. Obviously, they've got meetings, I think, with Canada today. As well to continue on with that, and then Mexico as well later on Friday, and then they've also got dealings with the Chinese, so that's coming up as well. So it could all be sorted out very, very soon as Trump reorganizes things. Now, what has that done for the market? It means that yesterday we had obviously a big bloodbath. Today we've had a recovery, but the stock market, of course, is only open so much during the day. It's not 24/7 like crypto. So we saw the Dow Jones. Now, I looked at the futures last night. The futures market was, 0.5% to 2%. I think on the US 500 it was 2%. They expected to be decreased. Well, we ended up with approximately 0.75% or just over 1% for the Nasdaq decrease. So it wasn't as bad as the futures indicated. Thank goodness for that. And of course, the news came out about the Trump 30-day extension there with Mexico and Canada. Yeah, Dow Jones down 122 points to 44,421. This is, of course, for Monday, US time. S&P 500 down 46 points to just below 6,000. And NASDAQ, they're down 235 points, just below, just down at 19,391. Now, we've got a lot of tech companies reports coming out this week. So we've got a really busy week of economic news as well. So it's going to be an interesting week ahead as we get into this green. It was typically a green crypto month, right? So very, very bullish crypto month. So we'll see how we go there. Now, quickly looking at the commodities, we've got West Texas is down at $72.35. Brent oil is down to $75.53. So that's pretty cool. Now, we know that, Canada exports the vast majority of their oil production, which is sour oil. And then, of course, that is, they can't refine that. So they have to send it down to US refineries. And it's the vast majority of their production goes to the US. So they really are stuck. They can, talk the talk, but really they need to capitulate. And of course, it takes many years to set up your own oil refineries. And remember, the US produces its own sour oil, and they refine that too. And the US has got abundant oil if they really need to use it and extract. And of course, that's a key focus of expanding and tapping into that supply for US energy. But what we're expecting to see is prices reduce over time. Negotiations with Saudi Arabia and other places like that will probably contribute to that with the furthering of the Abraham Accord. So we've got lots of cool things happening in the space there for oil. And of course, the Keystone Pipeline, all those other things are necessary, especially to get it over from one side of Canada to the other side of Canada. So it's not only this, they're really forced to sell it to the US. They sell it at a discount, but they also need to get it to the east side. They have to transport it through the US as well. So, it's just the way it is for the Canadians. And of course, probably the biggest problem with Canadians, they need to stop the drug trade, right? So Chinese youth should drug trade to Canada. That's a big problem there. The other thing is that they're both Mexico and Canada have committed to troops. So Mexico's committed to 10,000 troops along the Mexican border that will strengthen whatever Trump's doing between the Department of Defense and the Homeland Security. And of course, that's going to be pretty important. And the borders are as well. So that's going to really strengthen that. Mexico, they've already got it down like 96%, the inflows over the southern border on a daily basis, which is dramatic. Arrested over 10,000, criminals and others already in the first week. So it's been pretty impressive. And Canada is also committed to doing tightening up their border security and allocating money for that. So I think $1.3 billion for that. So things are definitely heading in the right direction, for a safe community, right? These open borders, obviously carnage, and of course, also changing the culture and the makeup of the country, pretty serious. I think you got to get the balance right. And of course, people need to obey the laws. So getting all that together is very important. And then you can get on to prosperity, right? Prosperity from there. Now, gold is pretty much flat at 2,854. Silver still holding up really well at $30.53. Flat today, but holding up pretty well over $30. So it's pretty good to see on that. So there we go. Trump did agree with the Fed that no change was fine for the time being, but that may be something he reverses later on. Obviously, interest rates, just like inflation, pretty key things you want to control and reduce to make the economy flourish. So maybe that's a battle for another day. Now we also see the Dodge under Elon Musk already finding he's got a whole ton of superstar autistic computer guys that can pick up patterns and stuff like that in the Dodge. Already finding widespread corruption, particularly through USA aid. And of course, it's rampant, particularly under the previous administration. Some of the things are most ridiculous things in the world. And we're already seeing that they're canceling contracts after review by the Trump administration for approval. So Dodge is crushing it out there. They've only just begun, but they're already saving tons of money for the United States. That was just, going to a lot of made up propaganda things or psyops or lots of different corruptions going on. So it's exciting times for the USA. Finally, you got a president that actually is delivering what the people have wanted. Get rid of corruption, get rid of this deficits, and start dealing with that big, giant, fat debt that the US has carried So in the trillions. So last time I remember it was about 36.5 trillion, something like that. We got more wealth says, can't wait for ALGO. Yeah, well, I was popped on the show earlier with Cold DeFi talking about PUSD ALGO earlier, so if you haven't checked that out, but I will be talking about it today in today's stream, a little bit later than more wealth, and I do think it's going to be a lot bigger than other people. So it's nice to be able to pick that project back up again too. Very excited there. Hedgehog in the house there. Woohoo! Good to see Hedgehog. Make my cage great again, says Hedgehog. Absolutely, LFG. I agree with you on that. Wookie says you can't trick the Wookie. That's easy. And Hedgehog says make the Wookie great again. I don't know if that's possible. That might be one thing that even Trump couldn't achieve. But hey, we'll move on. So that is where we are at the moment. So lots of stuff happening. Let's jump over to crypto. Crypto rebound. Woo! We love this green, eh? After yesterday's red bloodbath. Bitcoin, importantly, back over 100,000. So altcoin season still on the table there. The bull run still on. BTC at 101,000. Very, very powerful move. And I think it did defend the 92K. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So that's up 7%. Ethereum there, which got smashed yesterday. I mean, it got absolutely smashed. Let's be fair. Ethereum got smashed yesterday. If you managed to pick up some, it went down to 2150. Up 12% at the moment at $2,800. So if you picked up Ethereum, congratulations on that. XRP up 22.65%, $2.73. XRP getting a lot of attraction for the interbank play, right? Bank services. So it's getting a lot of interest there from TradeFi suppliers. Solana there up 11%, $2.16. BNB up almost 10%, $605. Tron up 9% there, 22.7 cents. ADA up 21%. It's almost 80 cents there. Those are some of our leaders. Litecoin is up, what's that, up 13.5%. Not sure why it's not in dark green, because anything over 5% is typically in dark green. I think this might have broken down. I might have broken down with the rampant there. But let's have a zoom in on Bitcoin. This is our Bitcoin chart, guys. That's kind of like this is the hourly chart. This is the hourly chart. So how about that? This is the hourly chart. Can you believe it? So yeah, we had some sell-offs back here, but then of course we're up at 97K and then capitulated big time, got all the way down to 91,178. So yeah, not too far from that 92K. That's been very good support for Bitcoin. That's on the hourly, and then we've had this nice, beautiful rally. Look at that rally, really kicked up at 2 o'clock my time. So nice little move there. And with this, that kick would have been from the capitulation there by Mexico and Canada and the 30-day extension. So that's kind of kicked in there last 13 hours, up 7%. Not bad. $6,800. Can you believe it, on Bitcoin? That's the movements that we're seeing. Isn't that crazy? Let's go to the daily on the old Bitcoin and have a look at the averages. Let's see if I can get this fixed up here. Let's go to auto fit. I think that's the one. And look at that. Woohoo. That is where we're at. Can I do auto fit again? Maybe I'll do that one more time. So that is, we had this bit of a dip here, this bit of a bear trap that we expected. Obviously got some interesting special events here with the Trump tariffs and the reorganization. But everything's looking very good, right? Very good. Yeah, we had a nice little bounce here, 91,240. Now, we'd already been there, right, back on the 9th of January and back here on the 30th of December. So everything's looking pretty good. Now, obviously, we're in the green month of February. So this is the month here. Let's see how we get on. Rocky start, but maybe the relief rally could be really hyper pump here, and we're back on track for big money. Now, the word on the street, we're going to get big money in Q2. But of course, this is the typical pattern here for crypto. So we're expecting some really good green month here for crypto as well. Now, I believe that tomorrow, I think it is the digital discussion coming out from the Trump administration. I think it is tomorrow. So we may have some hyper pump there for crypto tomorrow on the back of that digital. There's some digital announcement or something like that, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow. And so if that does occur, we could see some real movements here in crypto, because that could be a lot of the crypto policy being rolled out from the administration within the digital portfolio. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, very cool. 101,000. That's real solid. Now, where's the 50-day? The 50-day at the moment is at 98,000, almost 99. It's almost just under 99. Can you believe it? That's some crazy stuff right there. and the 200-day moving average is 83,278. But the 50-day is almost at 99,000. OMG, that's so good. And we've still got that golden cross in place. So everything looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Back over 100K, very important bullish move, and possibly a not big move tomorrow if that digital policy does come out then. Now, Ethereum, of course, Ethereum got smashed and bashed around. We're quite used to that on Ethereum, but man, it was severe. It was severe. I mean, we were all the way over 3,000, right? 3,100. We'd already been sort of shimmering down, right? Shimmering down here from what we were at. This is on the hourly chart. We're at 3,439. Can you believe it? 3,439. We shimmered all the way down, and we got down to about 2,900, and then just all hell broke loose with the trade tariffs applying, and we went all the way down to $2,150. Is that crazy or what? That is crazy stuff there. This is an hourly chart. Remember, this is not a daily chart. 37.5%. 37.5% in 2 days and 10 hours. Is that crazy? And of course, most of that happened within 2 hours. So that is some crazy stuff there. 37.5%. Welcome to the most volatile asset. Now, does that mean that we're going to get a violent recovery there? That V recovery, kind of a big smash to the upside? Very good chance in February. I'm very bullish about that. So there we go. This only happens at the right time of the cycle, though. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And we're currently up 30.5% from the bottom there. So that's in the last day that has happened there. So if you picked it up at 21.50, well done. It's now at 2,800. We had a recent high of 2,924. We almost got back to 3,000, got rejected on Ethereum. But let's see, we're still stepping up there, get back over that 3K. And maybe tomorrow with the digital policy, if that is coming out, it's game on. Now, looking at the daily, let's have a look at that. Look at that wick on the daily. Is that insane? And the volume here, just on Coinbase, was 740 million, I think it is. That's some crazy stuff. Now, we have still got a golden cross playing out. So it is closing up a little bit there, but I think we might just run away again in February. And so this is a bit what we saw with Bitcoin. So we've got the 50-day at the moment sitting at 3,270, and we've got the 200-day at 3,129. So I think we've got a good chance of getting back over there in February and start rallying away. And just like we had this big pull drawdown, which was absolutely ruthless. I mean, look at the last 4 days or so. That is a pull down of 37.5%, $1,287 on the Ethereum price. Crazy stuff. Welcome to crypto, as we say. And of course, the rebound there looking pretty nice. We're back up 30.5%, $660 so far. So that is where we are on the old Ethereum. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Now we're going to get into Pulse Chain. We got beginning a new day. It's day 63634. But before we do that, let's see if anyone else has jumped in the chat. Let's see here. We got Wookie says Wookie can send you some fresh cactus for you bedding, says Wookie. That's a bit of revenge there, I think, Hedgehog. That would be awesome, Wookie. You are great again. Woohoo! Wookie's there with the rockets. Nice one there. Looking good. Now, don't forget to get in the chat. Get lively as well. We're going to be talking about Pulse Chain. Obviously, we've missed the end of the day. We've got a brand new day here. But currently, the prices are quadruple 051 on day 634. Only a few hours into it. And price is up 16.7%. So nice rebound there. Sitting at 51% of the mean sacrifice price. So we've been around this price a lot, haven't we? Around the quadruple 05. PulseX at quadruple 0334, up 19%, and that's a third of the sacrifice price. We've been around this point as well, and we are waiting for the SEC judgment, which has it's already been 90 days. So maybe they're just what judges waiting for the SEC, but certainly things are going to be slowing down the SEC in terms of lawfare because it's probably going to be dumped, right? Let's see how it happens there. 1.227, almost 1.228 trillion. PulseX is now even bought up and burned at 6.16% of the public supply. So it's going on really nicely. Incentive token, $1.70. The ratio is 33,400 Pulse to 1 incentive token. That is up 17% as well. And there's something over 54 million supply, although that number doesn't seem to update properly. Hex at the moment, 1.29 cents, up 21%. So Hex is the winner of the day so far. eHex at 2200th of a penny. Boy, that's a real discount, is it? It's easily a 50% gain waiting on eHex. There's your tip of the day. Tip of the day. Combined price EX and PX at 1.5 cents at the moment. Just waiting, just chilling. When that runs, when Hex runs, it's going to run beautiful. It's going to be a gorgeous thing. People are going to, wish they had picked it up. Let's go quickly into the gas prices. We have seen some elevated gas prices on Pulse Chain recently. At the moment, it's elevated 5.2 million beats, and it's 10 cents. 10 cents at the moment for a PulseX swap. So it is expensive on Pulse Chain at the moment. Wow. So there we go. And Gwei on Ethereum is 3 Gwei, could you believe it, which is kind of weird. That is up. So Pulse Chain is only 32 times cheaper than Ethereum. But, Richard Hart's put that in the video before. The more expensive, more as we move through the cycle, the more valuable the chain becomes. We can see Pulse Chain becoming more valuable. One of the blues clues is the gas prices. That's one of the yellow indicators there. The other one, of course, is volume going up and the bridge going up. So we're looking at all those indicators. 45,439 validated at the moment. It's definitely down from the highs, but it's we've had a lot of volatility lately, and maybe some bigger players decided to move their assets around. Let's go to the bridge. The bridge 116.8 million. So that was up at 128.8 million just the other day. So we're definitely down, what's that, about 12 million from there. But I think this will pop back up. Not too worried about that. So let's go to the overall volumes. $88 million. What's happening here? What is happening here? What is happening here to the volumes? Well, we know that Richard Hart has been launching stuff or talking about stuff that he normally wouldn't talk about. What is happening to Richard Hart? Did someone steal him? Did he get stolen? I don't know. We've got Clintrons in the house there. G'day, Mr. Hex Token and crew. Good to see you, Clintrons. Big shout out to you. Night Toxics. Good night, Toxic. And hello to Brian. Welcome to Brian. We've got the double fist pump there. Absolutely. So Richard Hart here. What's going on with the account get hacked or what? So Richard Hart here, making a number of comments here, which is pretty crazy. And one of them was about pump tires. There's pump tires, which is a kind of a clone, isn't it, of fun tires or something? Some other account, some other platform. Pump tires code burns native tokens instead of earning fees. So there it burns native tokens instead of earning fees, whereas others dump fees earn on you. It makes it easy to make new coins tied to native, not stable. Now, I've heard some criticism of this platform. So, beware and all that. People have launched tokens. It takes tokens or something, and then it can, if it doesn't trade well, it gets dumped on by the tokens that are taken by the platform, stuff like that. So, you can confirm that for yourself, but that's what I have heard. It makes it easy to make new coins tied to native, not stable. There's a site called something or another .fund. Now, this is kind of weird because we know that typically Richard has not been a big fan of meme coins and other things like that. Although he has made previous comments, I would say, recently in the last sort of 6 months. So maybe he's had a bit of a change of heart there, realizing that a big part of crypto is very much gambling and meme coins and things like that. So maybe that's that, just recognizing that people's behavior is what it is. It makes it easy to make new coins. There's a site called something or .fund sells down the Solana price all the time. Why? Because they prefer to make fees in Solana and dump on people's heads. So you can decide whether you like that or not. There we go. So that is it from Richard. So there we go. That is a little bit of stuff. Now, we did see one of those tokens launch, and one of them was called Most Wanted, right? So this one here that launched on their platform. And probably, who knows? You can decide whether it's Richard or Richard's mate, whoever's running that platform, whoever launched this token, you can decide. And of course, Most Wanted there up 265% in the last 24 hours. And we're probably having other tokens launch on that platform as well, flooding the market over here on Pulse Chain. So that's definitely one way to lift your volumes. And we can see the volume on this one has been almost $1 million alone on the Most Wanted one from Richard. Now, obviously, I'm not endorsing any particular token, just talking about what's happening on the old Pulse Chain. Liquidity 616K. I'm not sure what else to say about it, but that is ticking away there. Certainly not endorsing any particular token here. Now, we've obviously had lots of weird tokens launch on here. Got to be very careful, as usual. But we've got some pretty crazy gains on some of these. So just take note that these are probably launched on that platform pump. Was it pump.fun? I think it was. So yeah, there we go. Got quite a few of these pumping into the system. So take extra due diligence and care there. You can see that a lot of them are just launched in the last day, like 8 hours, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. All these are 1 day. See, 6 hours. So just be careful. A lot of these are probably all on that new platform, as opposed to using some other token launch service that's out there. So yeah, there we go. We got a couple others here, 2 days. All these tokens here, most of them look like they were all launched on that platform, and they're all up pretty big percentages, and the volume's going through them. And of course, it's pumping the 24-hour volume. Got 500,000 in transactions at the moment on the old Pulse chain. What else are we going to say about that? Let's have a look for some of our normal ones here. We've got PDC the Grays has made a big bounce back there. We've also got 9mm, the DEX. So 9mm is the second biggest DEX. Of course, we're going to talk about PUSD ALGO because that's going to have a V3 DEX, and we're hoping that's going to launch sooner than later, and that could definitely start rallying there. But 62% gain in 9mm, pretty crazy, right? So really nice pump there. Look at that. That's the second biggest DEX member on Pulse Chain. Had a nice uptrend, did break the uptrend here, but then has rallied back above it. So ho hum, ho hum. I guess we've got a new trend there, trend line there. Is that easy the way we do it? Anyways, that's up almost at 5.8 cents. A very nice bull bounce back there for 9mm DEX, which is the number 2 exchange volume on Pulse Chain. We got PDC the Grays, of course, which has been pretty much one of the very best projects on Pulse Chain. Certainly quality, right? I mean, the chart speaks for itself. That's a quality profile. This is what people are looking for. Can I get into something that's not going to continually dump on me? And for the most part, go on an uptrend. And this chart is uptrend pure, right? 000969 is PDC. And of course, you can stake it and stuff like that and earn tokens, and of course, as taxes and stuff like that. So that is ticking away pretty nicely. And it's also got its little child UFO token, right? That's ticking away as well. So nice little comeback there on that one, especially from its little sell-off with the rest of the market. Chainlink here, up 37%. That's only 4 hours ago. So these are all linked on launching. All these recent ones, probably virtually all of these ones, these short ones, are launching on that new pump platform from Richard Hart there that he has posted. Now, normally he doesn't post anything that's not his own product. However, he has been talking about PDI and other things. So, things are changing. He's changing the dynamics. Is this Richard 2.0? You can guys to decide. But remember, be careful, chasing pennies in front of freight trains. It's always a good rule. That's from Richard Hart 1.0. Richard Hart 1.0. Richard, so just take care out there. We got Hex here is sitting at about 1.3 cents, up about 22%. So Hex making a really good leaders out of the majors. So PDC, Hex doing well. Yeah, pretty awesome stuff going on there. So kind of cool. Someone's trying to ring me there, not sure why, but hey. All right, so that is pretty cool. The other one I was going to say is we have got some of the P Maker theory ones going there. So Link and Maker, they're all going up pretty good, 32% on Maker there, $18.50. So if you're on the P-Die Maker theory, that is going up nicely as well. Richard Hart tokens obviously leading the way. And we've got Loan token as well from Liquid Loans going up 17%. And what else? We've got UFO, which is related to PDC. That's up 15.7%. So that's a nice rebound too. Spark Swap, of course, which is number 5 DEX on the old Pulse chain. I don't know how much volume it's doing, but that is up. Let's see how much volume that's doing. 312,000. It's still tuning over volume. Where's the volume? Spark itself is the volume. US DEX there is the volume. It's been around for a year. I'm not sure. It's some sort of stable coin or something. US DEX or sub DEX there. They seem to be the two ones. Spark, basically Spark, US DEX seem to be doing most of the volume. So that is pretty cool. What else have we got going on here? Let's scroll down. Obviously, after that big pullback, nice to see Pulse Chain doing some pretty numbers here. 9-inch, of course, as well doing. So the third biggest DEX, right? So we've got Pulse X, 9mm, then 9-inch. So the DEXs are doing real well here on the bounce back. 9 inches up 10% as well. So those are pretty much all the ones over 10% doing pretty well in there. So not bad. I just realized I haven't got my screen showing, have I? All this time. Has it been the whole show? Has it been the whole show? I haven't got my screen. It's the new hairstyle. Gotta be. Yeah. You're not showing this chart, so I apologize for that. So we're going to have to go through a bit of summary of that quickly. And let's have a quick look on this one. We've got, obviously, a lot of these new tokens are just from that fund platform from Richard Hart. I'm just trying to think when I wasn't showing the screen there. Let's have it. It's been the whole show. Have I not been showing the screen? It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's have a look. You've got Brian says, yay, finally got it. Yeah. All right. So yeah, this is the one here, pump.tires. This is people launching on this. Richard posted it. And it's lifted volumes big time, right? We're up at $86 million in volume, 500,000 in trades. Now we've got all these tokens. They're all like 1 day and stuff. These are launched on this platform here, this pump tires. And yeah, they're ticking away, leading the way with massive gains on them. Got to be very careful out there, do due diligence, all that sort of stuff. Like I say, PDC the Grey is doing very well, 9mm doing well. So we've got all the dexes, 9mm, 9-inch, Spark Swap all doing pretty well there. And PDC the Greys is up 44%. So real mad gains there. Some of the Maker and Chainlink there, some of the Maker Theory ones doing well. Obviously, Richard Hart coins doing well, Hex and Pulse Hex, we talked about that. INC, UFO doing well as well, up 15%. And Spark Swapper there, of course, the number 5 DEX is up 15% as well. So some pretty good numbers. 9-inch is also doing well, the third biggest DEX, so doing pretty good there. Now you see all those DEXs rebounding really quickly on the volume. Well, you know, that's pretty awesome. I noticed that Patius is probably doing well, the DEX aggregator, because now it's got way more volume to go through. Presumably, it's going to get linked into that pump, you know, the pump trading. So that is pretty exciting. Now that brings us into PUSD algo, because we know that this is going to have a V3 DEX. So we go to the swap page here on PUSD algo. Obviously, see it's got the best brand name possible, P for Pulse Chain USD. You don't get much better than that. So I'm very excited about that. And so is Brian. Yay! So is Brian. I don't think it was for that though. So PUSD algo. So Cult DeFi, who's been the front man for Jacob and the Mafia game, has been pushing this. Earlier today, he had a live stream, and I jumped on there for about 5 minutes before I had to bounce out. But man, this is looking exciting. We've actually got the docs page has been updated, and we're expecting some more updates to this to the website and to the docs. So I look forward to that. But that is now added, and yeah, everything's looking pretty good. The dashboard is looking good. So we are expecting a UI. This is kind of the initial, you know, minimum viable product. So we're expecting a bit more around that. But man, look at that, pretty awesome. Now you can see the chart there. The chart's still live. So that token for PUSD, which was the testnet on live stream, and that was about a year ago, and they pegged it through the miner bots, and it was pegged at $1 better than Coast and Liquidity forks like Liquid Loans and Power City, and it's pegging to $1. Which definitely adds a utility that the market doesn't really have compared to, unless you're talking about the Bridgeton ones like EDI and stuff like that. So that's still ticking away. You can still find that on Dex Screener. Now, obviously, they're going to have tokens, ALGO, which is the algorithmic coin. That's going to be the main token for the platform. PUSD, which is going to be the stable coin. Pulse USD, can't beat that branding. And then Wrap PUSD, right, which is the reward version. And then, of course, they're also going to have the Flex token, which is a reward token for using the platform. So this is our understanding of tokenomics, and the documents still have that set up. So that's pretty cool. And of course, the swap page is going to have a V3 DEX. Now, we're talking about V3 DEX. It could rival in volume 9mm and 9-inch. So it could take number 2 spot behind PulseX. And the reason why I say that is because he's got the Mafia game, which is the number 1 GameFi. And of course, we've been talking about that here. And that's just growing all the time. They're about to do massive marketing and outreach in both within the Pulse Chain community, PNB community, but also out wider, hitting some big numbers out there. So that's all coming up too. So we should see some massive growth for both Mafia and potentially PUSD algo could be coming online. Now, V3, they could be using the fees there for burning a lot of the tokens within the platform or within Mafia. So there's lots of different use cases for the fees that would be used, which would be absolutely awesome to see that. So that actually supercharges things. And of course, the volume would get picked up by the DEX aggregators like Matthias, Portal X, and others. So that could be massive too. The sacrifice is still open at the moment. There are 2 bonuses, so you participate here. Now, this sacrifice is not like other sacrifices. 50 to 75% of the funding will go into the LP pools straight away. So PUSD, ALGO, for example, and of course, PUSD is going to also be benched off USDL, so the stable coin as well. So it's got 2 stability protocols there, one using the liquidity fork protocols with the collateralization, and the second one using stability miners, right? So stability miners using that to peg the PUSD stablecoin to $1. And of course, we saw in the testnet it was amazing operating there using some decentralized and centralized miner bots there. So pretty exciting. People provide liquidity basically, and they get a yield for that, right? So we're expecting some pretty cool stuff from there. So getting back to the sacrifice. So that is where we're at the moment. Now, there are 2 bonuses. There's a 19% bonus that you can get using the link in the video description. That will get you a 19% bonus straight out of the gate. You're winning. And then secondly, if you do $1,000 inclusive of that bonus, you will end up getting a bonus X, which will be a random number between 1.01 and 2X. So it's a massive bonus. So that could definitely be in play. I like going to an example here. Let's go to one that's got this one. It's got a 90% bonus. They got over $1,000, $1,196. They ended up getting a massive bonus X. This is the second bonus, right? So there's the first one is a referral bonus X. So that's 90% in the video description. The second one is bonus X if you do $1,000 inclusive of that referral bonus, and you could get up to 2X. This person was very lucky, got 1.99. The total dollars of their contribution or sacrifice is 2,380. Now remember, 50 to 75% of the money will be going into the LP pools because this is a stable coin ecosystem, right? With a V3 DEX, so it could be pretty awesome there. The other thing is that for every dollar that you do sacrifice, you get 20 ALGO, which means algorithmic coin, 200 Flex, which is the reward token, and 0.01 RAT PUSD, which is the reward version of the stable coin for staking and stuff like that, providing liquidity. And so that is it there. And of course, this gives you an example of how many, those dollars times that rate gives you how many tokens you're going to get in the system here. So in this terms, this person did $1,890 inclusive of both bonuses, and they ended up getting these tokens here: 37,800 ALGO, 378,000 Flex, and 19 RAT PUSD. Now, total supply at the moment is sitting at 40 million ALGO, 7,000 RAT PUSD, and 140 million Flex. So this is still open. Now, the only thing you have to be wary of is that they do have to get the liquidity up further. I don't know whether Jacob is going to allocate capital from other avenues. So there are a couple of other avenues that he could allocate capital to, including the Mafia game. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. We also know, based on outreach that I did to Rack and Michelle, whether he will be considering it through Steve Hetson. That's still unknown. And of course, we'll see whether all the capital adds up. But in the meantime, people in the community can participate for that. So that's the first thing. The second caveat, of course, is time frame. We don't know what the time frame is. All we know is that Jacob about a week ago said, "Yeah, it's game on for this project," and I have a feeling that it's going to be integrated into his bigger picture there, along with Mafia, which is the #1 metaverse, #1 GameFi, and the #1 NFT market on Pulse Chain. So why not have the #1 DEX outside PulseX? It would be pretty awesome, right? So that would be pretty crazy. And who's know what other integrations and tokenomics he's going to have. We also know that all his casino sites, BNB Pot, Pulse Pot, and Pulse Predict, which is a sporting and price betting site, will all be integrated on a new site for online gambling. So that's coming up as well. So these might all be related to each other, which are pretty exciting. And PUSD Algo could be the first stablecoin to actually be pegged properly to $1, as opposed to needing to be arbitraged from 9% DPEG or 110 cent DPEG, $1.10 DPEG or something like that. So that would be pretty useful to a lot of market participants. So not only does it have leverage, but risk management as well. And of course, it answers the big stablecoin trilemma, which is scalability in the chain, right? So we already have 2 solutions. We have the Coast one for fiat. We have overcollateralization with the liquidity forks. We've got 3 stablecoins there: USDL, PXDC, XDC. and then we're going to have potentially PUSD ALGO as a scalability. In other words, because ALGO can be scaled, and so can the stablecoin, and it also gets destroyed as well in the protocol, also when it's not as in much demand. So it's got self-regulation from that point of view. The main game, of course, is the stability miner. That is what holds the peg up, and people provide liquidity and get rewarded for that. So very excited. And of course, anything they do, they get rewarded also. So it's going to be interesting to see this by itself and also integrated into the rest of Jacob's projects. And of course, the Mafia game going from strength to strength, over $500,000 already in the vault here for Mafia on Pulse Chain and BNB, which is pretty exciting, right? So doing some good stuff. And this is only getting bigger, this game, right? Bigger. The exchange for in-game currency is going really well. So maybe the V3 decks there burn some of that. The businesses are going off. We've already had the casinos. They're getting a really good volume on the casinos. And then we also got the map got sold out on Pulse Chain. So there was a massive land grab for the map, and it's completely sold out. The only place you can buy it now is on the secondary market, is when you go to the marketplace. And of course, this is the NFT market on Pulse Chain. $330,000 have gone through this market so far, which is pretty awesome, right? So that is the play. Can't wait for opening up the DeFi. So it'll be the perfect GameFi DeFi ecosystem on Pulse Chain, and I suspect it will be a dominator on Pulse Chain there, a bit like PGC, a bit like anything that Richard puts his hand on. I think we're exciting times. Other noteworthy ones, have been the PH Universe, have been Batias, some of the Power City products, definitely adding a lot of value into the chain. Internet Money, of course, the wallet is doing really good there too. And to some degree, liquid loans as well. So, and the Coast team, let's not forget the Coast team there. So very exciting. We're also seeing a lot of more integrations into other protocols that are not in Pulse Chain ecosystem, adding Pulse Chain to them. So that's really exciting to see, wallets and bridges and stuff adding in Pulse Chain, particularly to Base Chain and others like that. So really things are really ticking away really nicely there. All right, that is pretty much it on that one. We're going to jump away and talk about TitanX because that's had a beautiful rebound. So we'll talk about that. Brian says, crashing boss, keep going strong. Wookie should be able to keep things running. Here we go, says Brian. Hey, sleep well there, Brian, and catch you on the next session. Or hopefully Wookie is still awake. Sometimes he goes to sleep there. So we're getting the TitanX now. So Pulse Chain looking exciting. But TitanX did something really unusual when we had that big pullback. We had a real big pullback for TitanX, but this is on Ethereum, so we've moved to Ethereum chain now. And we had some really weird stuff happening, right? So TitanX versus Ethereum, it didn't capitulate. It did not capitulate. Weird, right? The market pulled back, but didn't. Now, it had a lot of selling, had a lot of exhaustion in the selling, but it did not capitulate. It still stayed around a very strong number here. So let's go to the daily chart, and we can actually, let's go to the hourly just so I can show you a bit clearer. So we had this price, it was sitting up around about 1173 with 9 zeros, and it went down to 1065 with the 9 zeros. So this is TitanX versus Ethereum. So Ethereum was tanking dramatically, remember, 37% tanking, and TitanX hardly moved. And then it started climbing back up to a higher price, back up to 12.15 on the rebound. So really crazy stuff going on here. And this could be very much a turning point for TitanX. So it had its first wave, it did a 10x, then it had a big sell-off and basically wiped out most of that. And it's getting ready for the Omni chain moving to Base chain, right, for its first expansion onto another chain. So let's see what happens with this chart in February. Going to be very interesting indeed. And of course, hyperdeflation still going on there. I would call it deflation at the moment. I think hyperdeflation for me is more like half a trillion tokens being burned every day, but it is certainly going down every day. So let's quickly look at, we've got the wrong one there. Let's quickly look at the website and see where TitanX is sitting at the moment. So we're sitting at 99 trillion, 99 trillion, 158 billion. That's what the supply is at the moment. So the circulating supply is 44.22. And the burned is 55.78, so 125 trillion has been burned so far. And of course, the liquid supply is now at 65.6 trillion there. So that is the liquid supply. Liquid supply sitting just below 30% at 29.26%. Now, we know that its omni-chain version of Titan X is called X28. And that is, once that launches, this is going to accelerate these numbers. So it's a good idea to keep a tab on these numbers once the X28 bridge opens up. Now, X28 bridge, if we go down to X28, which is the omni-chain version of Titan X, so it's basically Titan X 1-to-1. When you go to the actual website, you can transfer 1-to-1, but in the market, it is actually at a slight premium to Titan X 1.01. And that may break apart. That may go up even more. The more that separates from 1-to-1 on the market, the more likely people are to transform Titan X into X28. Now, that will only work to a certain degree depending on liquidity and the size of transformation, but that's something we're going to look out for once X28 goes to base chain, for example. And that is 98% there. So I think they're almost about to launch. So we should get a launch on base chain this week. It was expected probably within the weekend. Looks like there's taken a few more days to do that. But that looks like we'll get it this week. 98% complete was the last update from Jacob overnight. No, not Jacob, Jack Lemon overnight. Jake Sharp. There's so many Jacks. Jacob, Jackson, Jacqueline's, I don't know. Jake Sharp there. So that is pretty much up 21%. So we've got some nice little movements on Titan X there, which are pretty cool. Now, the X28 transform, anything that gets Titan X gets transformed in X28, 50% gets burned, right? And the other 50% of Titan X goes into a buy and burn for the X28. So it's a very, very hyperdeflationary technique. But I think it needs to be triggered by the base chain, by other chains launching, as well as third-party protocols on X28 as well. So those are the sort of things that will probably trigger that, and maybe some LP management there. We shall see. So pretty cool. Dragon X is up 24%. The ratio is down 7.65, so it's really at the bottom of the rung there, waiting for some of those Titan farms to launch on base chain, pulse chain, and other things to get that thing going. So we will probably see a rebound in the ratio at some stage, but that is where we are at the moment. Shogun is up 14%. Shogun there is obviously benefiting from LP volumes, not just the auctions, perpetual auctions. It's got two burning methods there. And that will probably need to pick up once they get more protocols, like base chain. It's going to definitely help it. And I think Shogun will probably getting some benefit from base chain in some form, whether it gets bridged over to base chain or otherwise. So keep a lookout for that, something else. And of course, the LP volumes looking to pick up. More LP peers should help a lot with that as well in terms of burning Shogun. Hyper and Hydra. Now we're expecting Hyper and Hydra to really pick up, but that's some of the secret sauce in our strategy club. So you want to join strategy club, links in the video description. Only $35 a month for that, and join up today. So we've got some secret sauce around that, but they were both up today. Vault, I'm going to jump past Helios, but Vault there is up 35%. Vault looking very, very good. 8,700 Titan X ratio at the moment, almost back at 3 cents. In fact, it was over 3 cents slightly. So that is doing pretty well on the old Vault. Let's quickly look at the volumes there on the stats. Vault is getting pretty rare. 43.62% is a Vault. Now there's 30 million in the Vault balance, but there is a LP wallet which has about 30 million in it. So if you add the two together, it's about 43 million. So that's a little bit of secret sauce for you there. So at the moment, there's just under 592 million tokens. So Vault's definitely scarcer. And what's coming up? Vault staking. We know that that's pretty close. It's pretty close. I think the third order is complete. And so this has got to be very close for Vault staking. That will get more Vault off the market. Obviously, you can go to Titan Farms and go over there with Vault and Titan X, I think. But this is going to get pretty rare with the Vault staking. Then after that, Bitcoin Genie, which I'm super hyped for Bitcoin Genie. Could be, along with the stuff that Eric and Jake Sharp are doing, could be the frontier of DeFi 3.0. And we could have sustained buying in that protocol. I'm very excited about that. Bitcoin Genie, going to be exciting. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Titan X, going to be cool. Benefits Vault and Titan X. Excited about where that will go. And of course, that will supercharge Vault. Vault is getting rarer and rarer every day. So I think about 1 million tokens being burned these days. So it's slowly getting eaten up. And of course, with those protocols, could be very bullish indeed. So some good stuff happening there. Inferno, I think Inferno is still number one, 58% or so has been burned from that. I think that's still the case. Let's quickly have a look at Inferno while we're here. I think it's the number one burn protocol. Depends on the way you add. If you add up LP pools and stuff like that, then it's not. It's actually number two. It just depends on how you add the numbers. So 54% has been burned on here. I thought it was 58, 54 there. Now, yeah, it's actually, you're looking for scarcity in the system. So it depends on how you add that up with LP pools and other things. But it's looking pretty good. It's definitely up there on the basic burn if you looked at pure burn, along with one of the other projects, which is pretty close. So Lotus is there. Flux Morpheus is up 24%. That's sitting at 0.3 Dragon X. We were watching that ratio as well. It never got to the 1-to-1, did it? But then we're in turbulent times. Let's look at some of these others. Blaze up 30%. Now, the opportunity to get into Blaze could be with the staking, right? With the long-term staking, it could be a big benefit. Tink is all the way down at 10 cents. Can you believe it? That is up 25%. But we were looking out for any protocols that build on Tink, as well as the expansion of Titan Farms onto other chains potentially could benefit that. Keep a lookout for that one. Element 280 is up 30%. Ouroboros, right? This could be a major catalyst, just like Titan X going, X28 going omni-chain. Ouroboros, we're waiting for the lending platform to launch. It was supposed to launch before the end of January. That has not happened. That was pushed for a week extension. So maybe this weekend we might get Ouroboros launching. I haven't seen any particular update in Telegram, but to keep a lookout for that. 8.5 cents doing pretty well, 43%. So Ouroboros there, waiting for that lending protocol. Going to have its own stablecoin USDX. Could add quite a bit of it. Going to add a lot of supply sync value to a lot of the tokens that are accepted, particularly Titan X and Dragon X at first, then Ethereum. But also will add more Ethereum liquidity because that was part of this, the sacrifice for that, and also probably add a few percentage points potentially, depending on the scale of use. So if it gets a lot of millions in it, then that could add quite a bit of pumpability for the old Titan X ecosystem. So we'll keep a lookout. Question mark there, but could do. We know that some whales are interested. So if the whales come in, it could really help generally pump old Titan X ecosystem, and then you'll be chasing candles, right? Chasing candles. Viper up 25%, Eden down 3%, Turbo up 30% there. Godex up 16%, and Ascend up 2.2. Now Ascendant and Bonfire, the last two to launch, right? So that's pretty crazy. And one of them benefiting, I think it's Ascendant, is it benefiting Tink, and Bonfire, I think, hopefully benefiting X28. I think those are the two. So TikTok there. But Ouroboros USDX is the next one to launch, maybe this week, and maybe base. So this week could be huge potentially for both Titan X X28 with the base launch as well as Ouroboros launching. And who knows, we may also see some of those Titan farms launch on base chain as well with the base there. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? See Dragon X there, found Eric there with that. So we'll keep along on that. So it could be a massive week for Titan X. Now, it'll be the best, I think the best time, because, we're expecting February to be green. And I think everyone's getting together with Trump's tariff strategy with reorganizing things. And so I think things are heading in the right direction there on that one. Hey, we got SBL in the house there. Ethereum. Yep, Ethereum. What a bounce back that has been. Let's see if it gets back over 3,000 tonight. I'm still here, says Woogie. Nice. And we got Brennan in the house as well. Howdy, Superman and family. Hey, Brennan. Good to see you as well. All right, so that is what we're seeing here with the old Titan X. Now we've got tons of other projects to launch coming up. I'm particularly excited about Genie, Bitcoin Genie. I'm very excited about that. And we've seen some bullish stuff from, this is from, of course, our number one DeFi creator, Tokenomics. And that's from Stevie D, the mad scientist. And I'm very excited about this. This could be huge. Bitcoin Genie brings a first of a kind gamified affiliate model as well. So that's been announced. That's going to have an affiliate model, Aladdin Gold affiliate. So I'll definitely be promoting that because I think the protocol is going to be a real game changer. I generally am very fishy about which ones I promote, particularly around, I hardly ever do any sort of promotional ones, but this might actually make the grade. As you guys know, I do promote PUSD ALGO because I really think that's a great deal, great opportunity. But there's lots of ones I don't promote. What was the recent one that was rugged? I definitely promoted that one. Can't remember what that one's called now. Bitcoin Genie brings first of a kind completely unique, separate from the protocol. It boosted it massively. Gamification makes participating exciting. So pretty cool. So separate from the protocol, but boosts it massively. So this is going to be indirect referral. So I like that. Anything that's means that the person that's going into protocol has the best outcome is very important. So really like that. Gold affiliate. How about that? Looking forward to that. So going to get into a lot of stuff there. Stevie D posting out quite a bit of stuff there. Now this is the update on Vault staking. We might as well refresh this, even though I gave a bit of an update. Vault staking is in its third audit, security first. So the third audit there, the few surprises are coming for Vault soon. Exciting times ahead. So we're gonna have some extra surprises there. I think Vault's a very good pickup. Once again, do your due diligence, but man, it's been burned off, and we've got all these roadmaps, utility roadmaps coming for Vault. It's going to have its second day in the sun, as it were, looking very good. So he's got a nice big Titan X giveaway there too, so you can get onto that if you want to post that. I'll post that in the chat there if you guys want to get in on that giveaway. It's a pretty nice giveaway. We got Brennan says ETH still under 200 EMA on the daily, not out of the woods yet. Need to get back over 3141. A death cross looms closer, if not. Yeah, we did talk about that death cross. Very cool to get your insights in that one. 3141. Keep a lookout for that. Maybe overnight, Brendan. Maybe overnight. That is the link to that Stevie D giveaway. Don't miss out on that one. Kind of cool. Vault staking update. So we talked about that. And what else we got left here? Let's jump in around these. I don't know if that closed that giveaway. 24 hours. No, I don't know. Maybe it's over. Hopefully I'm not wrong about that. What else? We had probably some other stuff there. Yeah, gold affiliates. That was the big news there. I was trying to go into some of these. I'm sure we had another good update here on Bitcoin Genie. Yeah, this is probably the one I want to talk about. So a new way, gamified utility with intrinsic value. So I think what Stevie D is trying to crack here is the buy side, right? We get buy and burns. That's important. But I always think you need some other buy side mechanism. And I think this might just be cracking the nut here. Sustained DeFi. So that's a real good focus. Magic upright, burn lock mechanism, a real yield generating, a protocol end date. So that's going to be really interesting, that the impact of that. Gamified utility, collateral backing. So obviously you were talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Titan X, for example, exact end date and a user DAO. The user DAO is just going to be like a tweaking thing. It's going to have a couple options which have slightly different impact, but both of them supposed to be good. The idea there. So that could be pretty exciting. Now, if you haven't guys joined this Telegram, I'll post that in as well. So if you guys want to join the Bitcoin Genie, because I do think this one's going to be, he's at the frontier stuff, searching for the Holy Grail, and this Bitcoin Genie does look very good. Fingers crossed, Super. Yeah, fingers crossed indeed. All right, so that's pretty cool on that one. That is looking nice. So I'm really excited about that. I also am pretty optimistic about Taurus here from Cryptographics. Now, he's doing a lot of promotional stuff. He's going to be doing a lot of stuff with influencers and short videos. So he's going to be ramping up the Titan X promotion. But I think this one here might also be pretty exciting. Truly the first of its kind on the blockchain. We'll be looking for that as well. It's going to have this Taurus pool. Basically, if you get less people engaged in the protocol participating, the ROI goes up, and so forces more people to go in. And of course, it's got this seesaw thing between people going in, activity, and the yield. So this could be pretty interesting the way this plays out. We'll keep an eye on that one. So there we go. There's a couple little my thoughts there. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. Lots of other projects coming down the line. The big things though, base chain is coming for omni chain with X28. The Shogun's probably going to get supercharged in that too. We've got some big things coming for Hyper and Hydra, I think, moving forward. Vault, the roadmap looks golden. Love that. And we've got Ouroboros, the lending platform there coming. And that's going to be pretty exciting. And also more Titan farms, which I think is going to be pretty exciting too. I do know that without not talking about it, I do know that the dude from Helios, who's got multiple projects like Element 280, is going over to base chain, and we know how good his products are. So very excited about some of these buy-side products like Element 280 going to base chain. Now we know that if you get a chain picked up over there, if you get products picked up on base chain, you'll have tens, if not more, thousands of people flooding into those protocols. So we could see some real big movement over on base chain because the Titan X has a pretty big community. It makes some of those charts move. and suddenly you get all the base players over there moving as well. It's very much a meme coin sort of chain. We do know that some of the LP guys in TitanX know a lot of people in those communities, so I think we're going to get some pretty excitement over there in base chain. You do base chain well, and then you can go to other chains, right? So obviously Pulse chain be one of those with the volumes up there. So keep tabs on that. Su chain, maybe a few others could be pretty interesting. We're TitanX heads, as well as, of course, building out the rest of its Ethereum growth as well. So pretty awesome there. All right, so we're at 1 hour on the live stream. It's a bit late today for me, but I had to get one in, specifically after Trump's tariffs, the pump. We got pump, rebound. Really good news there. Now, I was pretty comfortable with this tariff strategy. We had seen this tariff strategy before the last time he was president, so no surprise with what he was trying to achieve this time. And that's still ongoing, but I think it's going to shift things the right way. Yeah, we wish in New Zealand, we wish we had a Trump here. Unfortunately, we might take a year to get some of that feedback loop. We have got crazy people have been running this country for decades now, 3 decades at least, maybe 5 actually, probably since 87. We got a real another run and come there. But it's, yeah, fingers crossed the Trump effect plays out for the rest of us, because we want a better world, and our leaders are crazy. So fingers crossed there. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Get into our Discord. Links in the video description. $95 a month, super cheap, like a cup of coffee. And get into our community. Really get involved. We've got lots of links, everything. We've got a crypto helpline, everything you possibly want for Pulse Chain and Hex. And if you want to go the extra mile, you want a good stretch, join our strategy club. That's $30 a month. You can join up to that today. And we've got a huge intel feed going through there constantly. We've got a great bunch of people in that group as well. And lastly, if you want to get the PUSD algo, get that 19% bonus straight off the bat. Get in there. And of course, if you do $1,000 inclusive, you can get access to that bonus X, which is a 2X. I think it's on scale. We're pretty much, Jacob's pretty much one of the best devs in the world in DeFi and GameFi, and of course, particularly peer-to-peer blockchain technology. And so I think you're backing the right horse, right? So and so far so good. He's getting better at what he does too. Getting better. I've noticed a lot of stuff. So looking forward to it. As soon as we get intel, we'll feed it through. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next show. Bye for now. Enjoy yourself, and